Because the as Sri Ved, try to behave. The frequency of the mind is there. My mind, your mind, and our mind. There are three minds right there in the universe. My mind, your mind, and our mind. And then there's a mastermind. It all is a part of that huge mind. And if your mind does not tap into the mastermind, I mind, my mind, your mind, our mind will always be in a conflict. There will be no understanding. You have to have a mind which should take overall picture, overall view. And science will find it out in a couple thousand years from now that even the atom and proton, neutron, whatever you call them, those three parts, has also multi-parts to it. So it comes to a point where in your little psyche, a combination of existence happens. There's nothing which you cannot do. Take it for granted. And everything which comes your way has come in your way to get it done. That's granted. It's a question of whether your frequency adjusts to itself or not. There's a radio, and waves are going through on different numbers, 105, 107, different stations, a different line. There's no problem with the radio station. Radio station is giving the signals, and radio are receiving the signals. If the receptive radio is not tuned into the same frequency that of the signal radio, signal station, you will not hear. And sometime, even though you are at a right angle, you will see the buzz. It is buzz of your life which is your pain. Your pain is not you. Pain is not your environment. Pain is not your richness and poverty. Pain is not your faculty of life. Pain is not your ego. Pain is not your appreciation or your depreciation. Pain is not your insult and your praise. Pain is that buzz in your life. And that buzz is when the frequency is not harmoniously received or projected. You know what that means? You get insecure. Wherever there is a I, you substitute thou, you'll get out of pain in seconds. Because thou means infinity, thou means in vastness, thou means in grace, thou means the greatness. Wherever there is I, you have to explain yourself, the very fact of yourself. Now, you have to live in this life constant pressure. I can't, I don't want, this. Constant pressure, there's a hunger. 100 syanpan lakh hoye ta ek na chale na. 100,000 wisdom will not go with you because bhukhya bhukh na utri je banna puriyan par. Hunger and 100,000 hungers, you can try to satisfy them, they cannot be satisfied. You don't need food. You need satisfaction. You don't need a lot of wealth. You need fulfillment. You don't want to be great. You want to experience gratefulness. Your whole concept of life as a human is wrong education. What you want is not what you need. Suppose you have 36 dishes, sumptuous meal, and you eat it. You can't digest it. What's the idea of eating it? Suppose you digest it, then it creates a powerful wind and powerful digestive system lock, and you end up in a hospital. Sometimes it is so tragic that we want what we want without understanding, do we need it? Or what our needs are, what is the real of it? ਰੋਟੀ ਮੇਰੀ ਕਾਟਦੀ ਲਾਏ ਮੇਰੀ ਭੁੱਖ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਖਾਧੀਆਂ ਚੋਪੜੀਆਂ ਕਣੇ ਸਹਿਣਗੇ ਦੁੱਖ. That's a Kabir Shabad. My bread is like wood. ਕਾਠ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ wood. ਕਾਠ ਦੀ ਰੋਟੀ in our villages, ਕਾਠ ਦੀ ਰੋਟੀ is a very known formula. Because you can take this bread, you can go 2 months, but it can go wrong with it. It is all solidified, wood-like solid stuff. Nothing will touch it. It's hard so much that you have to really take a hammer to break it. When you eat it, you break it really with a lot of strength. ਰੋਟੀ ਮੇਰੀ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਕਾਠ ਦੀ ਰੋਟੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਹੀ ਕਾਠ ਦੀ ਰੋਟੀ ਨੇ. ਲਾਏ ਮੇਰੀ ਭੁੱਖ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਖਾਧੀਆਂ ਚੋਪੜੀਆਂ ਕਣੇ ਸਹਿਣਗੇ ਦੁੱਖ. This roti of mine, this bread of mine is that like a wood piece. It takes away my hunger away. ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਖਾਧੀਆਂ ਚੋਪੜੀਆਂ, those who have got all the ghee, the prantha, ਕਣੇ ਸਹਿਣਗੇ ਦੁੱਖ, they will suffer a lot of trouble. Because if you have that ਕਾਠ ki roti and you chew, your teeth will never go wrong. Your gums will never go wrong. You will have a ton of saliva. And it's the sweetest bread, I tell you. The sweetness of it is better than any fruit and sugar ever you can eat. Plus it is very energetic. Plus people don't suffer with it. What you need? Do you need food for health? Or you need food for taste? Do you need life to be peaceful? Do you need life to be complicated? Do you need in your life tranquility, or do you need in your life storm? Are you willing to face? No, when you are a young person, your blood is hot. You don't care. But when you reach some status of life, you may not care. But it is there. One is you may not care, the other it is there. And then you reach a stage of life when everything is rare. That the doctor was telling me you should start walking. I say I just walk 10-15 minutes, and that too on one spot, and I'm trying to stimulate myself. And I remember up to quite age, 27, 28, I never missed a one-track event where I didn't win a trophy. And I used to run like 110, 220, 440, 880, 1 mile rally race, name a thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way. Same body, same person. Now they don't ask me run, they say walk. And I say I'm walking on one spot just to stimulate myself. What happens? Have you any idea? Life enters fast. Now all of you go to office in a car, come back in a car, walk from one door to another door, that's the end of it. you have totally comforted yourself with all elements of life. And that's our nature. But do we have anything left called challenge? Everybody now on the planet knows that if you take in the morning a very powerful, long, cold shower, you can still recuperate health. Why? It's a very simple scientific thing. When you put cold water under the skin, there are antennas which tell the blood to come and circulate and save the death. Cold means death. Cold means death. So when you fight that death for say 10-15 minutes every day, where can be a death? For 10-15 minutes, your psyche, your determination, your mind, within your own body, fights death. Go under the cold shower just in the morning, first time, see how beautiful it is. Wow. You look, oh, it's just such a shock to you. You don't want any part of it, do you? Want any part of it. And then you massage and jump like a monkey and you say, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Satnam, Allahu, Allah, whatever you call it. Doesn't matter. At that time you are totally one tune in God. And what you want? You want to get out of it fast. Quick. But you're determined, you say, no, I got to fight, I got to win. And finally it comes a stage when it is not cold. You know what that means? The death is not death anymore. Kar ishnan, simar par apna, man tan pay aroga. If you do ambrosial hour ishnan, a good deep cold water bath, simar par apna, meditate on your God, man tan pay aroga, your mind and body will become free of discomfort. Why? What is prayer? What is Simran? Simran means you sit down and you expand yourself. That's the only way to expand yourself. It is not that you are talking about God. It is you are becoming God. You are expanding yourself in that prayer. You are not thinking of little mundane thing. You are not insecure. You are not right there. Who is eating? Who is sitting? Who is? You're just talking of infinity. And few minutes of your relationship with infinity makes you infinity. As few minutes of fighting the death makes you absolutely healthy, few minutes of relating to infinity takes you out of the small, defined cage of your life. Today is a Valentine's Day. It has a lot of story, but it's a day of love. Somebody became a saint, and love was infinite. And we send each other card, be my Valentine, I'm your Valentine, we are the Valentine. Why can't we not be every day Valentine of each other? Why do not we fix a frequency? Why not? We are actually Valentine of each other. We have a vigor, we have a valor, and we have a virtue of life. There's no need we should not be Valentine. But your ego cannot be satisfied. More you get, more you want. And you are always insecure. You are always insecure of loss. You are never happy about gain because you hide it. You don't want anybody to know you are gain, except you have to show. That's also a loss. Because there's no fulfillment and gain. And there's no fulfillment in that loss. I asked once a gentleman, he was a friend of mine, he was a congressman for so many years. Every 2 years he was fighting for the Congress seat. I told him, I said, what you get out of it? He said, thank God I win every time. I don't know what I get out of it, but maybe I will not be anymore a dog. Can you believe a congressman you think is so great? In his constituency, 2 years, every 2 years. 1 year he get elected, another year he start preparing himself, collecting money, going to people, doing this. It is such a rat race. And it is so perfect that he has to talk to everybody pleasing. Everybody pleasing. And that's the faculty of the leader. Not to say what he has to say what everybody wants to hear. And I told him, you have become psychic. He said, if I am not that psychic, all I have to say one bad sentence, I lose the person forever. So his total situation is to gain and gain and gain. Never knew what for. Finally, every 2 years he used to get married also. Because no wife could have lived with this kind of a man. And he never married a woman who could have been a humble, sweet, good woman. He married always a woman of status. So why status woman get married, and who has her own status, he has his own status. So every 2 years I'll attend his election and fund collection and also go to his marriage. Finally, once he got married to a young girl who came here there in that election to help him. And next year, there was no collection of funds, no election. I asked him, I said, what happened? He said, now I have realized I have to live without fear, without pleasing, neither myself nor my environments, and not my word which I know. I said, what are you going to do? He said, I am just going to be as humble. Now he said, I realize, you always write me a letter, humbly yours. I never understood how in America this man can write humbly yours. What humbly means? And he said, now I realize that one word humbly, I am going to live humbly. I said, do you understand how difficult it is to live humbly? He said, yes. He said, but you do not want to tell me the other thing. When you are humble, then God's greatness comes through you. There's no other way. If the pipe is a rod, nothing will pass through it. If pipe is a rod, nothing will pass through it. If man is not humble, grace of God shall never pass through it. These are certain principles of the psyche and psychosomatics through which this life goes through. We normally fight because we judge each other, we are angry at each other, we need, we want. We want to pressurize everybody to our feeling and our suiting, and therefore it's like a toothache. We are all the time drilling holes and all the time getting into cavities of each other. We don't live in peace and tranquility. We are like dentists. We don't believe that life has its own purpose. We have our own proposal, our own agenda, my agenda, your agenda, our agenda, their agenda. Whose agenda is whose agenda? It's always we are questioning. We do not believe that God Almighty has a plan. God has an agenda too. You are not the only agenda. You are not the only person. And it takes only one act. It takes only one act that you are elevated. It takes only one act that you are ruined forever. Gangu was a Pandit. He was the cook of Guru Gobind Singh's kitchen. He took 2 children of his for protection. All went well. And finally, when there was a reward, he was the one who went and cashed the reward and surrendered. Even today, he is abused. Because he betrayed the confidence, he was cruel to the innocent, he sold out his soul and consciousness. If every woman today, same way, consciously feel her husband is a god, and every man feels that his wife is a goddess, where are you going to fight? And what for? Gangu couldn't give width to his mind at that time, that they are Guru Gobind Singh's children. If I'll protect them in history, I'll be exalted. But just for few silver pieces, he sold his consciousness, he sold his soul. And Nawaba Maril Kotla, a Muslim, when the children were all bricked alive and dead, the bodies were there, left. And he said, I want to do last rite. So this Nawab Sindh said, oh, you pay for it. How much space you want? He says, as much space as I'll fill it with gold coins. It is a history today. History records it, recommends it. Your one time when you are insulted and you rise above it. Action and reaction are equal and opposite. Action has a reaction equal and opposite. You can never get out of it. It's the resurrection where you become divine. Divinity is in case of duality. Status, what is this word, status? When you are challenged as Sri Singh Sahib, you are challenged and insulted and you are tortured and you are put to every harm. At that time, can you remain Sri Singh Sahib? It's not a person. It's not a personality. It is that time. Do you serve your status? And is your state of mind there with you? If you have your mind with you and is your mind, then you will not mind anything. Then you will be just you. When you cannot serve, your mind is not with you, you cannot serve anything. You will act and react and act and react, and that's pain. There's a story, somebody came to Mahatma Buddha. He brought him a lot of fruits. Then he sat down and abused him because that was his way to get entry. So he brought very rich presents and he sat down and he abused him. Mahatma Buddha remained silent. In the end, Mahatma Buddha said, I bless you. Kindly take this back. He said, these fruits are for you. He says, sow those abuses. I am returning the fruit and I am returning your abuses with you. Neither I am accepting your fruit, nor I am accepting your abuse. Is it not that what somebody says to you, it is something you accept it or not? Somebody come at your door and start knocking. It's up to you, you allow or you disallow. If you want to not open the window of your mind and you want to peep through it to see whether it's right or wrong, then you are a conscious person. Otherwise, have you seen one day when storm comes and your door opens and shuts and doors open and shuts, how terrible it looks? Isn't that all you? You act and react and react and act to everything. Let us see if we can get out of this stage today. Right? Hold your heart, hands like heart. See my posture? There's a posture, right like this. People say it is like a lamp, but they call it heart posture. It's just like all fingers together and these thumb together, and there's like a flame in between. Try to see how powerful how subtle it is, though you may not feel it, but how your electromagnetic field works. And now please close your eyes. And close them deep down and focus them at your chin from closed eyes. And now let us chant. Today is the birthday and Valentine Day. What a stealing thing to born on a Valentine Day. It's Sampuran's birthday. Sampuran means perfect, right? So, funny that may look, but let us chant one chant. And everybody has to chant, and everybody has to listen to the chant. Whatever you're going to say, you're going to listen to it. Try this and see how this nad, bodh, ad, nad, how it works. It's a science, and I want to tell you how it works. And it's in English. We are the people of love. Let us, people, love today. Go ahead. Satnam, 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 Vaheguru. Satnam, 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 Vaheguru. Keep up. Don't sleep. Wake up, wake up. One more minute. Keep up. Inhale deep, deep, and press your hands hard, as hard you can. Harder, harder, harder. Exhale. Inhale again, deep, and press and squeeze. Press and squeeze. Let it go. Inhale deep. Press hard. Squeeze. Let it go. Relax. You were almost sleepy. You know what that does? That is the vayu, the prana in between the two hands. And you can do this meditation fixing your eyes from the closed eyes into the center of the chin, and you can sing it for 31 minutes. You shall have an experience which nothing on the planet can give it to you. Isn't it amazing? Isn't it amazing? Yes, sir. You know, you start saying, Satnam, 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 Vaheguru. You know what happens at that time? This is how we can break the fatigue. This is how we can break everything in us. This is how we can break that death in us, stimulate in self into a different dimension. And that's what I'm going to do with you. But right now there's a very wonderful thing you have to have. This is, hey, little, read this Valentine message. You have eyeglasses? You don't have the lens? Come on then. Then what is wrong? Chal. Read.
For my dear ones on Valentine's Day, love has two polarities, conditional and unconditional. Conditional love has expectations which give us pain and joy. Unconditional love gives us ecstasy, self-fulfillment, self-respect, self-esteem, and the knowledge of our higher selves. Valentine's Day is a day of love, true and simple. Unconditional love is the power of the day. Love creates our bountiful, beautiful, and blissful tomorrows, and this is God in us. May we go from this year's Valentine's Day to next with the grace to make our every action conscious, intelligent, and positive. And may we keep a love in our hearts for all, for if we cannot see God in all, we cannot see God at all. Happy Valentine's Day. Dear sir, thought you'd appreciate the humor in this bill. Love, Mukta. Joint memorial, requesting a study to regulate the hunting and harvesting of attorneys. Whereas it is necessary for the public peace, health, wealth, and welfare that a study be conducted to protect a dying breed, honest attorneys. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the legislature of the state of New Mexico that it respectfully requests the Department of Game and Fish to conduct a brief study that includes but is not limited to the following proposed regulations for the hunting and harvesting of attorneys. A. Any person with a valid state rodent, skunk, snake, or pigeon hunting license may hunt and harvest attorneys for recreational and sporting, non-commercial purposes. B. Because of their overpopulation and the damage they cause, attorneys may be hunted year-round, except on April Fool's Day or Halloween, with no yearly total limits. C. Taking of attorneys with traps or deadfalls is legal. The use of United States currency as bait, however, is prohibited. D. The willful killing of attorneys with motor vehicles is prohibited, unless such vehicles are ambulances being driven in reverse. If any attorney is accidentally struck by a motor vehicle, the dead attorney should be moved to the roadside within 7 working days to prevent further damage to other vehicles. The motor vehicle that struck the attorney should immediately be taken to the nearest car wash and run through twice. The game warden should be notified as to the location of the body, as the vultures will not clean up the remains of their own kind. E. It is unlawful to shout whiplash, ambulance, or free scotch for the purpose of trapping attorneys. F. It is unlawful to hunt attorneys within 100 yards of BMW, Porsche, Cadillac, or Mercedes dealerships except on Wednesday afternoons. G. It is unlawful to hunt attorneys within 200 yards of courtrooms, law schools, law libraries, state capitals, health clubs, or hospitals due to the danger of accidental injury to the public at such locations. H. If an attorney gains elective office, it is necessary to have a license to hunt, trap, or possess same. I. It is unlawful for a hunter to wear a disguise as a reporter, ambulance driver, accident victim, physician, divorcee, chiropractor, tax accountant, or insurance adjuster for the purpose of hunting attorneys. And lastly, J. The bag limits per day are 1. Yellow-bellied willsuckers, 2. Two-faced tortfeasors, 3. Backstabbing divorce litigators, 4. Horn-rimmed cutthroats, 5. Greedy-eyed settlement bleeders, 6. Shovel-mouthed trust managers, and 7. Loudmouth plea bargainers. And be it further resolved that for the unlikely survival of this endangered species, it be imperative that this study take place immediately.
Wait. There are some, this one too.
Oh, just Valentine's cookies offered after class with love from McCall Security, Take Security, and GRD Clinic.
Please serve. Cookies are very good. They are right here. Cute. What is on the top of them?
Raspberry and chocolate.
Who made them? Three cheers for Ravi, very good. They are dietary because they are very skinny. Mm-hmm.
So was not odd mode?
The whole universe is from sound and creative sound. It's called Nad. It affects the reflexes. Hey dear, Nad and its effect on reflexes. Here you go. Somebody really made a good New Mexico case. There's a new tape today. Have you played a new tape? Which tape we should play today? Any tape we have jat-tagging on jat-tagging? Right now. Little water. 4 or 5 times, that's it.
Jai Jai Te Gum Jai Jai Jakaran Srishti Ubaran Mam Tuparan Jai 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 Te Gum Jai Jai Jakaran Srishti Ubaran Mam Tuparan Jai 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 Te Gum Jai Jai Jakaran Srishti Ubaran Mam Tuparan Jai 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 Te Gum 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 Jai Jai Jakaran Srishti Ubaran Mam Tuparan Jai 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 Te Gum Jai Jai Jakaran Srishti Ubaran Mam Tuparan Jai 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 Te Gum
सब प्यार नाम बोलो
Jai Jai Jakaran Srishti Ubaran Mam Tuparan Jai 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 Te Gum Jai Jai Jakaran Srishti Ubaran Mam Tuparan Jai 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 Te Gum 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 Jai Jai Jakaran Srishti Ubaran Mam Tuparan Jai 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 Te Gum Jai Jai Jakaran Srishti Ubaran Mam Tuparan Jai 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 Te Gum Khande Behandam Khaldale Khandam Khande Behandam Khaldale Khandam Atrana Vandam Bar Pandam Khande Behandam Khaldale Khandam Khande Behandam Khaldale Khandam Atrana Vandam Bar Pandam Buddha Akhandam Tir Parkandam Jot Amandam Pa Prabhu Jai Jai Jakaran Srishti Ubaran Mam Tuparan Jai 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 Te Gum Jai Jai Jakaran Srishti Ubaran Mam Tuparan Jai 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 Te Gum 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 Jai Jai Jakaran Srishti Ubaran Mam Tuparan Jai 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 Te Gum Jai Jai Jakaran Srishti Ubaran Mam Tuparan Jai 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 Te Gum
खंड
Behandam Khaldale Khandam Khande Behandam Khaldale Khandam Atrana Vandam Bar Pandam Khande Behandam Khaldale Khandam Khande Behandam Khaldale Khandam